The Archive of Borrowed Tomorrows, a library of forgotten futures. In a library that existed beyond the boundaries of any known map, a quiet, almost spectral figure named Lyra worked. She was its sole inhabitant, a clerk devoted to an extraordinary, melancholic task, the meticulous archiving of futures. Not futures that were, but futures that almost were futures people had once vividly imagined, teetered on the brink of choosing, or, with a silent sigh, had simply let slip away. Each shelf, stretching into an impossibly vast, softly lit expanse, held not books, but alternate timelines. These were the echoes of lives unlived, decisions unmade, paths untrodden. Here, encased in shimmering glass, resided the child never adopted, the heartfelt letter forever unsent, the vibrant city never visited, its bustling streets and hidden corners remaining a beautiful, unreachable dream. Each contained possibility hummed with a faint, almost inaudible resonance, a whisper of what might have been, a delicate vibration of regret or release. The glass containment units glowed softly, some with an ethereal warmth, others with a cool, distant shimmer, reflecting the untold narratives within. The air itself seemed to ripple with the phantom presence of these myriad choices, a silent symphony of potential. People, in their present lives, no longer carried the burden of remembering the futures they had discarded, the countless branching paths they had bypassed. Their memories, mercifully perhaps, had been scrubbed, clean of these might-have-beens, leaving them free to navigate their current realities, without the constant pull of the past's ghosts. But Lyra, in her solitary vigil, remembered them all with an unwavering clarity. It was her sacred duty, her singular purpose in this timeless space. She catalogued each possibility, not by a rigid system of subject or date, which would have been impossibly vast and meaningless, but by the raw, lingering emotion it embodied. There was the sprawling section for joy deferred, where laughter almost bloomed, but was then stifled by fear or hesitation, its vibrancy captured in muted hues. Adjacent lay the vast, silent aisles of courage untouched, where bold steps were never taken, where voices remained, unheard, and potential triumphs withered silently represented by fragile, glass-encased symbols of strength unexercised. And further still, in the quiet, almost peaceful corners, resided the archives dedicated to grief avoided, a testament to the pain that was circumvented at a personal cost. A weight shifted, perhaps, onto another timeline. These sections were not merely categorized. They were imbued with the very essence of the feelings. Some of these archived futures radiated with a soft, inviting light, almost pulsing with a tender warmth, pregnant with the love that had nearly come to fruition. A heartfelt affection almost embraced, a connection nearly forged. Their luminosity spoke of profound closeness, of shared glances, and whispered promises that just missed their mark. Others, conversely, flickered with a faint, dying luminescence like ancient burned-out stars, their initial brilliance long since extinguished, their potential long since abandoned, leaving only cold, distant memories of might-have-beens, hushed echoes of what could never be. These were the futures of isolation, of missed connections, of opportunities, left to decay into nothingness. Yet, amidst this infinite tapestry of discarded possibilities, this shimmering, vast ocean of other people's unlived lives, there remained one future that Lyra had never, could never bring herself to archive. It was her own. It was the singular exception to her meticulous, all-encompassing system. In the lowest drawer of her simple, polished wooden desk, nestled beneath reams of delicate, translucent filing paper, each sheet, a testament to a path not taken by someone else, lay a single, unassuming sealed record. It bore a handwritten label in her own elegant, precise script, distinct from the myriad others. She had penned unfiled Lyra, 11:47 a.m. tomorrow. The specificity of the time, the deliberate choice of tomorrow, hinted at a long-held, almost ritualistic deferral, a procrastination born of profound apprehension. She had, in the long, quiet years of her service, immersed herself in the boundless intricacies of countless other lives. She had read their unfolding narratives, felt the sharp pangs of their almost choices, understood the quiet burden of their unfulfilled desires, and observed the gentle, often melancholic, drift of their discarded destinies. Yet the one life she had consistently, deliberately, and with a profound sense of almost paralyzing apprehension, avoided confronting was her own. She had never dared to open that file, never dared to peer into the potential that awaited her, or the future. She had, perhaps, unconsciously abandoned, choosing instead the safety of observation over the risk of participation in her own fate. One night, a night indistinguishable from countless others in its profound quietude and the timeless rhythm of the archive, a subtle, almost imperceptible tremor began to ripple through the very foundations of the library. It was not a physical quake, but a resonant shift, a reordering of ethereal energies. The very fabric of the vast hushed space seemed to subtly undulate and shift. Shelves, impossibly tall and laden with the cumulative weight of unseen histories and forgotten dreams, began to reconfigure themselves with a soft, grinding hum, a symphony of shifting realities. Aisles, once rigidly defined and predictable in their geometry, blurred and reformed, guiding lights appearing where once was shadow, leading to unseen corridors, beckoning towards new discoveries. A gentle, ethereal breeze carrying the faint, sweet scent of ancient paper, the subtle aroma of forgotten dreams, and the metallic tang of unspoken possibilities, began to weave its way through the vast, silent aisles, rustling the unseen possibilities within their glass confines, causing the faint hum of what-ifs to rise to a soft crescendo, and carried on that breeze a chorus of faint, whispering voices. An almost subliminal murmur echoed through the vast space, growing in intensity, surrounding her like an ethereal cloud. It's time, Lyra. It's time for you to face what lies ahead. It's time to choose. A profound sense of inevitability, both unsettling and deeply compelling, settled upon her, wrapping itself around her like a silken shroud. With a slow, deliberate grace, infused with a newfound resolve, Lyra rose from her desk, her movements almost dreamlike, her gaze, usually so composed and distant, fixed upon the drawer containing her unfiled future, a magnetic pull drawing her forward. Each step she took towards it was laden with the cumulative weight of all the lives she had processed, all the decisions she had observed from afar, all the unspoken stories that had passed through her hands. The path felt simultaneously familiar and utterly alien. As she finally reached the drawer, the wood feeling surprisingly warm beneath her fingertips, her hands, usually so steady and precise in their meticulous work, began to tremble ever so slightly, a testament to the surging emotions within. A breath sharp and ragged hitched in her throat, a sensation unfamiliar in the silent, timeless expanse of her existence. A vivid reminder of her own fragile humanity. And then, with a resolve that felt both ancient and utterly new, a decision forged in the crucible of countless unlived lives, she reached out, her fingers, brushing against the cool, smooth surface of the sealed record, its label, a mirror of her own unspoken fears. Taking a final deep breath, a cleansing inhalation that filled her lungs with the air of possibility, Lyra finally, slowly opened the file. Inside, there was no grand revelation, no clear-cut prediction of what her future held, no definitive path laid out before her, no detailed blueprint of an inevitable destiny. There was no vivid image of a chosen life, no convenient glimpse of an automatic outcome, no comforting certainty. Instead, what lay within was something far more profound, far more challenging, and infinitely more liberating. It was a single, stark, yet infinitely expansive question, written not in ink, but seemingly embedded in the very essence of possibility, shimmering with an inner light. What would happen if you stopped waiting and started choosing? The words hummed with a quiet, undeniable power, a gentle but insistent invitation that reverberated deep within her. The archive, in its infinite wisdom, had offered no easy answers, no predetermined fate, only the ultimate question demanding not foresight, but decisive action, not prediction, but personal will. Her future, she realized with a profound clarity, was not to be passively archived, but actively and courageously forged by her own hand.